All right. Good morning, guys. This is gonna either be really dumb or kind of chill. What we're gonna do though is this is just a write with me stream, where I'm just encouraging you to hang out and write. If you're here when this is live, you'll be able to live chat with me. Um, Other than that, just if you just need someone to be actively writing to encourage you to work on your stuff as well, then that's what we're gonna do. I'll leave my camera on, um, and I'll try and pay attention to the chat. But other than that, we're just doing this. I'm gonna share it out on social media and see how it goes. My goal is to get 1,000 words in during the stream. That I am currently, because of some pretty disgusting water issues, I am at my family's house. So, they're out at the casino right now. I just figured I'd do this, now. And when they get back, or once I hit maybe about 1,000 words, I'll probably close the stream. But for now, we'll make it work. So I'm gonna write this out here. All right. Sharing that on Twitter, and cool. So, if anyone's rewatching this, if this helps them out later, again, sorry, I'm writing on my older laptop right now, and so the camera quality is garbage. Also, I'm tired. I was up late working on some really horrible water issues at my apartment, and I'm exhausted. So I came over here at like 5 in the morning and got some rest, and now it's time to write. So I'll be clicking back and forth between this and chat, and knocking out items on my to-do list today. Really, I just need to do 1,000 words to keep up. Oh no, I don't even need to do 1,000 words. I just need to do a couple hundred words to keep up with how I'm doing. But yesterday I wrote over 3,000 words. I wrote, except for Thursday, which was my birthday, I've written at least 1,000 words a day for like a week, and we're hoping to keep that going here. Got my fingers crossed on it, but yeah. So I'm gonna get on this here. It's gonna be rather quiet. There's gonna be music. I might ramble a little bit, but it's not anything big. I won't say anything super important to any story or anything of that sort. I'm just slowly gonna be knocking out this big fight scene in chapter 3. And I say fight. It's like very much like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure style of fight, where It's more about outsmarting the circumstance that you find yourself in. If you want some low-key spoilers for that, that would be folie à deux. It's a term. Excuse me. I mean, it's I'm assuming French. Yeah, French for madness for two. I thought it was interesting, and so I turned it into an ability in Underlord, and it's been great for Breakout. I had a trio of characters that I knew I wanted to exist in this world, and well, a trio that's connected to another character, but I just wasn't sure where to go with them beyond the stupid name game sort of thing I did with them. And I just came across something interesting, which was folie à deux, while watching true crime documentary stuff, which is why it's important for writers to constantly be checking out that sort of, just checking out anything and everything, learning about things in science, things in true crime, I guess, or, psychology, sociology, math, because you never know what little thing is going to inspire you to create something more. I appreciate that, Tyler. Really do. Thanks, man. It's just chill. Just vibing. And you're in the story already, so that I'm excited for people to see you eventually. I think they're really going to like what we did with the character that is based on you, sort of. You'll see. So, fun fact, my max typing speed when I'm not like thinking actively for a story, and you put something in front of me to type, my max has been 116 words per minute. So the actual act of typing it out never takes me long. It's just thinking, of course, for everybody as well. I knew you'd be able to see things like it does to me. what I like about so when let me reword this. When I'm working on Underlord, I definitely am taking, I know you're going to hear me say this way too much. It definitely is kind of an Iraqi approach to how conflict happens. Because for those of you who haven't seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the characters have these wild and crazy abilities, and a lot of them are, have abilities that allow them to punch the shit out of things with super strength and whatnot, or blow stuff up with bombs, yada yada yada, shoot fingernails. But even with all that, it's never like a straight up fight. It is very much like battle chess. Well, yeah, actually, you know what? That is, what's that called? Automatic chess or something like that. I think League of Legends has a version that they've done, where it's a fight, but it's very much about how can I outsmart people with my ability instead of the more Dragon Ball approach of how can I scream louder to change my hair into a different length or color again. So that's what I typically end up enjoying more about Araki's work than some of the others. But there are still very much fights that are supposed to be big and explosive, exciting, like your One Piece or your Black Clover as well. But you'll get a little bit of that and a little bit of the former in Underlord Breakout, which I'm hoping to have not just, first. My goal for the first draft is to have it completely written by the beginning of July, hopefully, or before July is over. And then Bill Jersey, the incomparable Bill Jersey, as I call him, will be doing the art for it. Let's see here. Oh, hey, Neo. The brilliant star that shines through the night, the oil slick that trips up trouble, Riser Man stands before you. Okay, see, yeah, I'm glad you get it. Neo is also a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan, and he was very kind. He's a good friend. He was very kind and let me nerd out to him. For those of you who don't know or are JoJo's fans, there's a fan production called Blood Sun Vendetta that's being worked on YouTube. You can go check it out. You can see a bunch of the progress updates and whatnot. And Neo here was very kind enough to let me geek out on Twitter's DM messages to him because I was very, very excited about it. So thank you for being a good friend, Neo. Let's see here. So yeah, Neo, for those of you who should know, he has a book called Riser Man. Very, very excited for it. I was lucky enough to see the artwork and stuff that he did the writing for, and Mrs. H drew out for him. It's going to be a really fun and exciting book. Granted, Riser Man's powers are pretty reminiscent of old school Dragon Ball as well. Hey, that's all right, man. That's all right. I'm just I'm a hater. I'm just a dirty hater for Dragon Ball. It's okay. It's all right. I appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you being here. Let's see here. Of course it does. That does amazing. And if anyone has any questions during the stream or after the stream in the comments for Underlord, please feel free to, or Underlord Breakout, whatever, please feel free to ask them. We've got some great art coming from Bill Jersey. He's doing all the super dope sketches. I'm so excited to have him on there. And then if you rewatch the stream, you'll see this, or if you're catching it now, we will actually have a bit more than a normal cameo. We will have a full-on character who is partially named after and drawn from the look of Tyler Carpenter, our friend Draw and Talk, who gave permission for it. He gave permission for it. So I'm super excited about the character and his abilities and whatnot. And I think it's going to be a really, really cool introduction to him. And I think as Underlord moves on from, the light novel to hopefully able to afford some actual chapters in the sequential art stuff, we'll be able to get quite a following for him too. I suppose, to be fair, Dragon Ball used to be pretty cerebral in their fights. Goku and the gang actually had to figure out how to beat their foes instead of just And I'll fairly admit as well, to be fair, that I probably have not watched or read enough to have such an opinion on things. It just is what it is at this point, unfortunately. I'm currently working on a crossover story myself. I've got the notes down. I just need to get it scripted. That's awesome, dude. It's awesome. I don't want you to have to spoil anything or spoil who the crossover's with, but do you want to give a description of what the vibe is for it? Are we doing straight action, adventure, slice of life, comedy, romance? What you working on? Let the people know. All right. Over 10% of the way there. Good work. All right. I'd love to do a non-canonical crossover romance, but this one is mostly an action-based one. Dope. We need more, we need to see Riser Man kicking some butt, man. It'd be dope. Totally be down for that. Totally would be down for that. Right. 20% of the way there already. How are we doing on time? That's all right. We can work with that. Because I'm trying to have, right now in the scene I'm writing, it's very much a JoJo fight of outsmarting the circumstances you find yourself in. I want the fight to end with a winner, but I don't want it to end in a way that a future conflict between these two people, or a conflict between one of the people and someone else, would be already hashed out, be too boring, right? So, gotta figure that out. So I'm thinking, as I'm working on Underlord Breakout here, my goal is to quote unquote reward myself each time a chapter reaches the end of its first draft. I will talk with Bill. We'll do the transaction we need to and give the go ahead on a new chapter start image. And then after the book is, the first draft of the book is completely done, then I'll start making edits. And as each chapter reaches its final draft, then I will start commissioning Bill to do the pieces at the end, at the end of each chapter, which I think will also be really cool if I'm able to figure out a good one for each chapter. I'm rambling a little bit here, but it'll make sense when you eventually get the book. All right, so keeping it up here. Do you ever accidentally find that you fell into something? So the character I'm working with, so his power, spoilers, as I've already said, deals with something called folie à deux, which in English translates to madness for two. It's, as it says here in definition, also known as shared psychosis or shared delusional disorder. It's a psychiatric syndrome in which symptoms of a delusional belief and sometimes hallucinations are transmitted from one individual to another. Folie à deux. The deux part at the end, because it's French, is spelled D-E-U-X. The character who has this ability and has not used it for very long, so they're kind of new to using it. His last name, again, the last word of the ability is D-E-U-X. It's a real term for different psychological reasons, whatnot. The character's name is D-E-A-U-X, Doe. So, Doe Bo Rideau. and fully I do. That's funny. It just now hit me. Oh man. So before we give a proper introduction here, let's make sure we click here. Yeah, I've been thinking of getting a few stories scripted until I can afford to commission them. Yes, I am 1,000% pro having a big script bank. Nick and I are working together on different stuff for BMR Comics. And I've said, I want to make sure for him, just in case, because however my life is, because, I work in education, sometimes that requires some big, some big time commitments. I want a big script bank. So just in case if my time available to write sinks for a while, I want him to still have the stuff he needs from me. So I think that's really smart. And then for the introduction, what is up, Total Excellence? Good to see you like this. I'm so happy you're here, buddy. I appreciate you being here. My life is made better by your friendship. Truly is. God has blessed me with you. I'm so happy. I randomly was on the Draw and Talk Discord and saw your YouTube link and commented first. I really am, man. So funny how that stuff works out. As summer finally came to hear the masterclass of writing by Paul Tucker himself. Man, with my new job, I have to work the summers this year and probably next year. It's rough. Which obviously people work during the summers, which is not a big deal to have to work during the summer. But I'm currently being paid like less than 2/5 of my previous job. I've gone from department head so the head of an entire department at one school to the paraprofessional who's essentially doing teacher's work at a different district. So my paycheck is hurting big time. Big time. So I've got to work during the summers to get some extra money. So I'm also making sure I do some stuff like this because I want to make sure I'm still out there even though everything is going wonky. So I'm here. I'm just writing. This is just if someone needs to work on some art or needs to write themselves and they just need a face on a screen so they feel like they're not alone while they're working, because I hate being alone while I'm working. This is what this is for. Man, that sounds spooky. That's some Part 8 JoJo level of stamp powers, right? Right, dude. We've got some fun stuff. Especially with the character who's modeled after Tyler and I say partially named. You'll see why eventually. Partially named after Tyler. His power. I wanted it to break hearts. Think about that. To break hearts, quite on the same level. I don't know what I'm saying. Quite on the same level as Wonder of You. So I definitely that's what we're going with for some of the powers, for sure. Well, and you got to think about it. It's it is a world where registered criminals can commit as many crimes as they want against other registered criminals, and I want some of the abilities to be pretty dark, which we'll get to it eventually. But how the abilities come about. Why not? If you end up watching this stream, you're getting some random cool information about 30ish minutes in. So in this world, in Underworld, there are two different types of abilities. There's one called Force of Will, which is where people can train for long periods of time, usually having to do really dangerous things in order to sort of gain the ability to tell a certain element what to do, or to tell things like bullets what to do, or to like strengthen their body or speed up their body. Usually it takes decades to for just normal level people to be able to light their thumb on fire if they want to have force of will over fire. People who have stronger wills or who are better at it can gain force of will over all sorts of things. But then there are these things called the Norsiki chess, which that gets a name from a Russian scam. But these chess, they are created by somebody we'll meet eventually, a very bored god in the world. They call him that, at least, a bored god. And these chests, they will take however many people in, and then they kind of just suck them all into everyone who comes to the chest. If a certain number of people don't show up in a certain amount of time, everyone gets blown back out. But it requires so many people inside to unlock it. And then those people are given some sort of task, or they have to fight or something like that. Inside the chest, they are given access to the base level of the ability, and they can get as creative with it as they want. Whoever wins ends up getting the power. So even like the weakest Norsiki power user still had to somehow beat other people for their ability and get creative with it. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that, I think. But anyway, yeah. So we call them vaults. Like they'll unlock the vault of the different abilities. So Folia will have had its own vault, and so the character who uses it had to beat people that way. I'm so excited. All right, here, let's see here. Honestly, Neo, same. I need to go back as well. I have it on. I need to put it on my computer at home, but as I've said in the description and earlier, my apartment is awful with water problems right now. You are too kind, buddy. My days get better when you come by and make it. Man, I can't wait either. I'm so excited. But it may come off too kind, but I'm just being honest with you, my friend. Just being honest. That reminds me, I need to get a bit of artwork done this weekend as well. 2 crossover pics and at least 2 character drawings. I've almost finished Riserman's Rogues Gallery, or at least a faction. Okay. Dope, man. Dope. What are the numbers looking like on that, Neo? How many you got it up to? It was good, man. It was good. I got I'm not working at a job that makes me think like I'm gonna get shot or stabbed, so that's preferable. And I devoured a bunch of Indian food. That was it. Well, also I got of course, appreciated all the birthday wishes, and I had some family members offer to, or essentially fund some stuff for this light novel. So that was a pretty big deal. It was good. It was really good. I felt loved. I don't usually tell people when my birthday is. The only reason I said it was trying to get some points for Jack Irons if I could. So I figured I'd take advantage of the day. But it was good. Thank you. Aside from the Dread-On organization he fights, Resume takes on a group of local costume criminals known as the Skull Gang, led by his persistent arch foe, Dr. Skulldor. I dig it. I feel like Dr. Skulldor should be a heavy metal song of some sort, if it isn't already. So while partially, the biggest thing for it is, to be perfectly honest, I really want to have a novel out, of any type, not light novel, novelette, novella, before I am 30. It's been driving me nuts for years. Trying to work on different novel projects. Still have to finish The American Exorcist. It's been really intimidating and daunting to work on. But this I've been burning through, and I think this is a good start. But so it's called Underlord Breakout. It is, I guess you could say it's what happens right before the official Underlord story starts. So it's going to be a story with Carly, who is the protagonist of Underlord, the official story. And she is currently being held hostage by a guy who really, really wants to be a prison warden. Which is considered a big no-no in the quote-unquote underworld, because either if you're a registered criminal, the only way that you would be in an actual prison is if you committed a crime against a non-registered individual, and then all of a sudden you would be executed the next day. You'd be put in prison for the night, executed the next day. So they're really all being held hostage. Everyone in this quote-unquote prison is being held hostage and treated like a normal prisoner. And Carly's been there for a year. The whole idea of the prison is they are kidnapping people who are related to bigger crime families and holding them for ransom. And Carly's father is a big gang leader in the world of Underworld, and so they think they can make a lot of money off of Carly. But Carly is refusing to tell them where he is, so she's been there for a year. Most people are there for maybe a month, maybe, possibly 2, but rarely more than 2. And so she's ready to get out. Well, suddenly letters start popping up, and these letters ask her to do certain things. They're like, I'm here for you, I'm on your side. If you do certain things for me at this prison, I will start giving you access to tools and resources that will help you escape. And the letter says, the first letter says, if you go essentially beat up this guy, I will give you your first resource as of tonight. So the story sort of picks up from there. And it's just going to be 10 chapters, probably 160 pages maybe, plus 20 to 40 pages, not 20. Hold on. Yeah, it'll be 20 pages of artwork. So it'll be 180 pages total, most likely. If it keeps to its current track. So 20 pages of Bill Jersey art, 160 pages of prose writing. I think it could be a good time. Got my fingers crossed, at least. We'll see. One of these days, I need to work in dimensional travel in Reiserman's mythos. It's not only good for setting up crossover stories, but it helps Reiserman into... wait, hold on. I got lost. It's not only good for setting up crossover stories, but it helps get Reiserman into more sci-fi fantasy scenarios. Dope. Thanks, Neo. I'm tired, so I'm rambling a bit, friends, so please forgive me on that. It's a long night. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. And it'll be available completely free online, digitally, as I have promised for all Underlord content. And then there will be a physical version that will be available for purchase down the road. But like I said, online for Underlord will always be free. And if it's ever not, then I need an intervention, because that is not what has been promised. So, yep, it'll be completely available. I'm excited. And patrons, since you both are patrons, will obviously have access to it before everyone else. But I don't want to subject you to my awful first draft prose just yet. All right, 30% of the way there now. Honestly, for being a free StreamYard song, this is better than some of the lo-fi I've played for my students before. Sad. It's very sad. So I'm working on Underlord Breakout. So that's the thing I'm working on. I'm currently at a total of 10,452 words, and I am attempting to get up to at least oh, that's wrong. Sorry. Sorry, 2 times. So my goal is to get to at least 11,000 a day, but I would really, really love to hit 12,512. So that's my goal, and I've written that over the course of really this week, and so we're at some extra blurbs down there, but we're at about 36 pages currently. We're at 36 pages, and we're burning through it. You been working on anything for your projects like this? What you got going on? Neo's with me on it. Oh, never mind. We're over 40%. I just said 30%. And maybe, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we're over 40% of the way there for my base level goal today. So that's good. That's good. Oh man. Boy. There's a lot of crack in there. one of the ideas, this is from Neo. One of the ideas I had was doing a wacky races style crossover, but then I realized I'll have to design custom vehicles for all 7 racers, including 2 of Ichthus's gators. Words are hard, friends. Words are hard. Yeah, that would be a lot of work. Ichthus. Right now, I'm currently writing for a short story, maybe 5 or 6 pages long slice of life. I have an artist in mind. If he's available, that would complement the story. Dope. You should have him run barefoot. All right. Over 50% of the way. Good stuff. All right. Definitely will hit you up as an editor when I get it done before I approach my artist. Absolutely, dude. I'm more than happy to be there for you on anything and everything, man. Whatever you need. Well, you know, man. You know how those hippies are. All right, past 10,600. All the way to 10,700. Why this song kind of slap though? That's all I'm saying. Lo-fi elevator music. Literally grabbed a lunchbox of water and soda, so I don't have to get up till I have to pee it all out. But you know. For issue 2 of Sunchild, will you slow down the pace? I was surprised that you adopted his fast-paced storytelling, introducing the character. Yes and no. The first half of Sunchild issue 2 is faster paced, and then the second half is slower paced. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it is. Yeah, it'll be even more intense, and then it's gonna slow down, big time. The chapter 2, chapter 1, we definitely focused more on the battle aspect of the quote unquote battle hippie title. For issue 2, I wanted to lean heavy into both sides. And I think it comes off that way. I think it works out really, really well. We get kind of trippy in the second half of Sunchild 2. And in the first half, we have a really, really fun fight. I think the only action you see in Sunchild Chapter 1 is kind of a really quick bit of conflict. But in Chapter 2, we have a bit closer to a proper fight, I would say, and introduce a really, really, fun antagonist who isn't going to just be there for an issue or for a single arc, but is going to be a constant thorn in Sunchild's side through the entirety of his story, without being the number one antagonist or the main antagonist of the series. He is just an antagonist, but he is an incredibly dangerous one and is different in nearly every way. Yet their power, it is very much like the worst powers for Sunchild to have to fight against, because of how Sunchild's aura ability works when he activates it. Oh, it's a rough time for him. It's a rough time. All right, 10,700. Less than 300 words to go till I'm at 11,000, which was the base goal for today, but I'm writing even more. Thanks, Neo. I am too, man. I am too. Yeah, Chapter 3 is also slowly being worked on as well, which will introduce more fun and will connect more things. So we had a hint of connection to the rest of Divine Anomaly at the end of Sunchild Chapter 1, Chapter 3, and if you think about it, Chapter 2. Will connect, but Chapter 3 will put him right smack dab in the middle with everyone else for Divine Anomaly stories. I heard some. Speaking of which, I'll need to reread Sunchild. I need a lore refresher for another idea I have in the works. Gotcha. All right, over 10,800. How does Sunchild feel about jazz cafes? Um, I probably doesn't attend them. I would imagine he's probably just sort of hangs out. He's either doing work for someone else or he is chilling in his van with his Domovoy friend. Probably, probably how he spends most. Gosh, I don't have a list, I promise. Most of his days. So, if he's not hunting for his siblings, he probably doesn't have much of an opinion on it. Though I have talked with Nicholas that it would be funny since Sunchild and his siblings are going to be called, we are jokingly called battle hippies. That it would be funny to do a print once they've all been introduced and do battle hipsters, which I think could be really, really funny. Okay. No one's ready for battle hipsters, Neo. No one is. It's the hottest new thing. Everyone's talking about it. What was the influence behind Sunchild? How did you find his voice when you developed him? um, so, uh, man, I wish because I've tried coming up with a good answer for this. I really don't have one. I just thought the idea of a battle hippie, because of my style, and it turns out Brian Ball thinks in a very similar way, of what's something that's so dumb that could be awesome, and that was the idea for Sunchild, was just battle hippie. Popped in my head after I asked myself that question, and things just sort of started molding from there. And I thought, well, if he's if he's a demon hunting battle hippie, he's probably not going to use more traditional sort of weaponry. You're not going to see him with a gun, or maybe not a sword. Well, especially because I wanted some separation from Demon Hunter Raven. I didn't want, or in Crusader, I didn't want to add any more of the sort of sword heroes. Something sort of more flowy and free feeling. And I also like the idea of creating a support character for Raven. So the Chakrams came in, someone who could cover Raven's back from a distance. I thought would be really fun. And then for his power, his aura ability, I just was really getting into the idea of creating a character with an aura ability. And so I started thinking of the different ideas in my head, which eventually became the other siblings, the other siblings of Sunchild. And I thought, well, what would a hippie want to bring into the world? Well, the hippie would want people to feel better, more at peace, happier. And so the Radiance aura, before I knew that Radiant Rapture was going to be a thing, I called the aura of the Radiance aura, or the Radiant aura, which allows him and anyone, including enemies, in his nearby vicinity to start feeling better internally, feel positive, but also start feeling stronger and faster and smarter, more capable. It turns everyone into the best version of themselves slowly. It just keeps building over time. And as far as his voice went, I knew I had to do something. I had to make him, quote unquote, friendly to the Divine Anomaly universe. So it couldn't just be a happy-go-lucky guy the entire time, especially because I'm putting so much of that sort of, not slapstick, but sort of, happier energy into Bump backstory. So I thought up his sort of tragic past that we'll get to in later sagas and arcs. But what would cause a battle hippie or a hippie to become a demon hunter? And so it just started all forming from there. I don't know if that's a good answer, but it's at least an answer. Sorry, man. Like I said, I'm so tired. I was smelling chemicals and all sort of stuff last night. It was horrible. Hopefully that sort of answered the question. I'm not in perfect interview mode right now. I need to get ready though when Bump Back launches, because my very first interview is on May 28th with Red Valkyrie, which I need to get some stuff together for them too. Nothing wrong with that, Paul. Most of my characters are a collection of things I thought were cool. Yeah, I think that's I think it's a good way to go. I think every writer needs to put together a collection of their story ideas. On like a document or something like that, and you'll have the intention of creating them individually, but also, some of those ideas might dissolve and just get put into other things, and that's okay. That's cool. I think it helps strengthen your other story that does get made. All right, friends. Well, honestly, an hour and 20 something minutes for multitasking, writing 1,000 words, and answering questions on stream and talking on stream is honestly not bad. But I'm hanging out. So, see you, friends.
Probably gonna have messes.